Flights have been suspended indefinitely at East London's King Phalo Airport. This is over maintenance problems affecting landing instruments at various airports. Now, with the Transport Department continuing the talks with the Air Traffic and Navigation Services. My colleague Aldrin Sampear is among those that are stranded. Aldrin, you are in East London. We'll forgive you for the lack of suit tonight, but tell us how long you've been at the airport for and what are you being told?
Yeah, and that's the reason that we dress like this, right? Because we are traveling. Well, we're supposed to be traveling at this very hour. Our flight was supposed to be departing from King Phalo Airport here in East London. That is FA 249 flies FA, but it's not the only flight that has been cancelled. Upon our arrival here about 3 hours ago, all we saw on this board was cancelled, cancelled, cancelled. And as you can see on the other side as well, you have indefinitely delayed. And this is due to what AXA is saying is due to the severe weather conditions and the suspension of the instrument flight procedures at King Phalo Airport, around 18 flights have been cancelled since yesterday. And I have to tell you also, Koli, that a bit earlier on, when we arrived at the airport, you had snaking queues around the information desk as well as the various cubicles of the various airlines that operate from out of the King Phalo Airport. But as it stands currently, flights remain suspended indefinitely. But earlier on, we did speak to the Department of Transport. They said that they are in a meeting with Air Traffic Navigation Systems to ensure that they bring the systems up to speed with what is the globally recognized standards. There was a statement that was issued yesterday as well, because remember that we were actually supposed to have been in Mthatha last week Thursday. Thursday, the flights were cancelled. Friday, the flights were cancelled. And now new information has come to the fore. Yesterday, the Department of Transport in the Eastern Cape issued a statement as well where they said that they are in contact with the air traffic and navigation system on timeframes of the system's upgrades that affected the operations at the airport. This is now the Mthatha Airport. But as far as the information that we have at our disposal, other airports that are also affected include the George Airport, the Polokwane International Airport, as well as the Kimberley Airport. I just quickly want to bring in some of the passengers that have now been left stranded here. One of them is Ellen. Ellen, a very good evening to you. I don't know how good your evening is, considering that the flights have been cancelled. How do you feel about all of this? Has anything been communicated to you? Do you know why your flight has been cancelled?
Well, there's a lot of conspiracies around why it's been cancelled, but the only thing I know is that I had a flight at 1 o'clock scheduled, and then a series of SMSs from SAFAir saying your flight has been postponed to 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and the last message I got was 8 o'clock. Luckily, I had to phone somebody else because I couldn't get any information from SAFAir, and he said, don't even think of coming to the airport. All flights have been cancelled. I've flew in worse conditions than this, so clearly I don't think it's an aircraft issue. I think there's other infrastructural issues, but it's just crazy in this modern times to wait until something really fails before they can fix it.
What's your plan now? What happens now?
Well, look, I'm trying to get my voucher to book a flight for tomorrow evening around 8 o'clock, but not 8 o'clock, actually around 5 o'clock. But it seems that I would probably have to pay in because the flights have gone up. I think one-way flight is around 3,000 or something. The voucher only covers a part. So at the end, we still lose. Yeah.
Sorry about that, Ellen.
No, not a problem.
Hopefully you do get a flight, an alternative. Thank you so much for making time for us. Hopefully things do work out. And the point that Ellen is making there is that it's not an airport issue. That's the same sentiment that was expressed by the Department of Transport in the Eastern Cape, where they said that the upgrades are not any of the airport infrastructure, but rather on the instrument flight procedure maintenance program in line with global safety protocols. Another person who's been left stranded is Bongani Kolisi, not related to Sia Kolisi, you say. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for making time for us this evening. The level of frustration arriving at the airport, we were supposed to be in the same flight, and you arrive here and you're told that actually there's no flight that's leaving.
At this point, I wish I was related to Sia Kolisi. You know, maybe I was going to make a plan, but really, that's on a lighter note. But It's really frustrating because I only heard about this when I got here, and imagine now I have to find some hotels. I believe they assume that we have money for hotels and all that. When I got back to ICC, the hotels is full. So I had to come back to the airport and change the ticket because it was too packed at that time. So I had to, they said I must come around about 6, and then I just only got the email now. Just to give me a voucher. And they don't say anything about other costs.
Yeah. And you, the bus, because earlier on we were told that at least with FlySafair there's a flight that's leaving from Port Elizabeth. Some people have decided to take the bus. That is going to be about a 3 to 4 hour drive to Port Elizabeth to catch that flight to Joburg.
Why would I need to book a flight if I'm still going to be in a bus for 3 to 4 hours? And not a lot of things happen on the road, so I didn't want to take that risk. And I took a flight from East London, not from PE. Anything can happen to a bus, and I didn't even know what condition is that bus, so I didn't want to take my chances.
Maybe you should use your surname. Who knows? You might be lucky.
I'm telling you, it's just that not a lot of people know Kolisi here because I believe they're not rugby fans.
Thank you so much, Bongani Kolisi, there. At least sharing a little bit of laughter. A final one that I want to speak to quickly, Matloli, is Tombuxolo Fogazi, who's also a passenger. Tombuxolo, just a quick one. Where were you traveling to?
I'm supposed to go to Johannesburg, so I didn't get even a message from FlySafair that the flight is being cancelled for today. So I got it when I arrived here, and yet I'm rushing for the doctor. My child is not well, so I need to be there early in the morning. So because I don't want to compromise my child's health, I had to hire a car. So after this, I'm on the queue now to talk to them. I'm not sure whether they are going to refund me or they'll give me a voucher. And I don't know when I'm going to use that voucher, because if they give me a voucher, it means I must take a flight the other day, of which I don't need it at that time. Now I need the money to put a petrol on that car that I've hired.
So does it mean that you'll be driving to Johannesburg?
Yes, I'll be driving after I'm done with that queue. And the queue, we've been standing there. We're here as early as 3 o'clock, and when one person, when they assist, it takes more than 10 minutes. So we've been standing there, and I was broken, my knee. I've been standing, there's no chairs that are offered, and we're hungry, we're here. Yes, so there's a lot of inconvenience here.
I wish you a safe travel, because it is going to be a long travel. Tombuxolo there. It is about 1,000 kilometers from this airport to Johannesburg. So that's going to be close to about 10-hour drive for Tombuxolo. And perhaps maybe there are some other people that have also taken that decision to decide that they're going to drive. Somebody else that we spoke to a bit earlier on didn't want to come on camera, was so frustrated and angry, and said, listen, I can't speak to you guys right now. Another passenger was speaking about missing the flight, the connecting flight, that they're actually supposed to be traveling to Australia. So you can only imagine the frustration and the inconvenience that this has caused.